GM.
Yo,
Yo,
GM.
GM.
Sorry.
Would we have the AI generated elevator music going on today?
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound a little muffed, but we got you.
Oh, dude, I have terrible service out here. A little bit of Wi-Fi, but got a little bit of time before we end up going out on the water. So wanted to go ahead and make sure this happened.
Episode 117. Shout out Master Chief.
Master Chief. Dude, I honestly know nothing about the Halo saga.
Oh, that was my shit growing up, dude.
Okay, complete side note. Dude, what is Ansem's Angels? I've seen a few tweets about it right now, and I'm curious what the heck it is.
Who the fuck knows? Probably just because he'd be pulling up at half court on random Twitter women.
I actually think, okay, I'm reading a few comments on here. I think it's like, there's no way that he hired out girls to like shill something for him, but that's what people are making it sound like.
I don't know, dude.
I don't
I
know.
kind of ignore noise like that. People just either dick ride people to oblivion or just fud them to oblivion. And so,
That's the issue though, and dude, I even talked with Ansem about this whenever we were in when I saw him in Miami. I was like, if I were you, man, I would just like quit tweeting about basically anything for the next like 6 months, right? Give yourself a cool off period because right now you are riding peak whatever. Walk away while you are on absolute top, right? It is not worth it to do anything right now. And then by not talking about anything for 6 months, it's almost like the GME effect of, what happened with Roaring Kitty when he walked out on top, right? You have the opportunity then to be able to walk back on and like it's all this stored potential versus if you stay the main character for too long, people eventually find something to shit on you for.
oh yeah. However, I really don't think the Roaring Kitty account was the original.
I mean, hey, and everybody seems to share that same thought now.
Well, I mean, just that the tweet patterns were so low IQ that it's just pretty much impossible for that account not to, or pretty much impossible for that to be the actual OG.
Yeah, no, there's no way it makes sense. And the sad thing is, though, again, you go back to it. I just feel like if anybody, every time you have an account takeover like that, the people that take it over are so low IQ,
It's
right?
like a Shardy B account.
Well, yeah, Shardy B used that back in the day, she publicly turned it over to people.
Yeah.
Like the people that run Shardy B are not the original Shardy B.
No. In fact, I think it's like 3 or 4 times rotated at this point.
Yeah, which is really sad because like the original Shardy B was awesome. Where I could tell, I remember like where Shardy B really, really, really pivoted was she like when I first noticed, I was like, "Oh, this is bad." This is before meme coins were really taking off. Was like some pig coin that she tweeted out and something else, and just I don't know. There were a few other things she really got into the weeds on that were just like you could look into it, and it was the lowest quality shit that you could possibly imagine. It just completely lost any type of like her original voice. But I mean, initially, what she said was happening. She was like, "Hey, yeah, like I've got a couple other friends that are doing this with me," and I remember how weird I thought that was. But eventually, I think it just rotated over to where she's just like probably sold off, completely got out of it. I think that she was pretty independently wealthy outside of Twitter, didn't really care about doing this stuff anymore and just kind of let it go. Probably sold it off, took a little bit of money, and walked away.
Hey, what do you think Ansem could sell his Twitter for?
You said Ansem sells it?
I said, what do you think he could sell it for?
Dude, I think you could sell it for 10 mil.
Really? You think that's
Okay,
a
maybe
ten
not.
million
Maybe
dollar
not.
account?
I think it's worth more than 10 mil. Um, he could get seven figures for it.
Yeah, I was gonna ballpark 1 to 2.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, nobody's going to pay the real value, right? They're going to pay like if he actually sold it, he could probably get 1 to 2. That does it's worth more than that, but nobody's going to pay what the upside valuation is, right? You pay the downside for the upside. So
Yeah. Yeah. Also, we got to pour one out for Cabuso.
you know the sad thing, I never knew what the dog's name was until today.
Me either, to be honest. And then I bought a shitter last night of it, a pump fun, and I thought it was the wrong one. Because the other one had another one launched with like was getting 10 times more the volume, and then so I sold out at 70% loss, right? And they proceeded to like 40x overnight. I was like, oh, thanks.
Yeah, like I'm looking right now. I'm looking on there's a Cabuso USDT on MEXC that like did a gigapump and then immediately rugged
Yep.
right after. And I'm sure there are others out there too. Basically, somebody was gigabrain enough to know this guy would eventually die.
Yeah, yeah. Apparently they were loading up a
I mean, that's
fucking
genius though if
fuckload,
you think about it.
and then they sold for what, 69 ETH, something
Yeah.
around there. Yeah,
Well, no,
that's
I mean, and I think that there are others that because I'm sure there are more than one. But either way, R.I.P. Cabuso, you know, legend lost.
speaking about shit gigasending too. You remember Turbo?
Was that like one of the original meme coins,
That was the first
like with
AI.
Pepe and all
Yeah,
that?
well, it was when Chat GPT and stuff came out. It was the first meme coin created 100% by an AI.
Okay. Oh
What do
shit.
you? Oh, damn! You pulled up the chart. I was gonna ask you to guess the market cap.
I don't know the market cap, but I'm just looking at the chart. Holy shit, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, dude. Fuck it. 200 million right
But
now.
dude, you know what I
From
love about
where?
that too? It's like it's literally 1 year after the inception.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly, it's a good narrative. It has normie spots like checked off on that, right? Like, I could just imagine people normies aping into, micro caps and being like, well, dude, this is the first meme coin that was generated by an AI. Like, I see the vision. However, I wish I would have even just thought about the coin at all, previously from whenever I was trading it a long time ago. But yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Man, that is insane.
In fact, a lot of
Dude,
ETH coins are catching bids right now.
I'm a little bit surprised right now looking at it where the market's kind of just as flat as it is right now still. Like honestly, we're seeing ETH having a little bit of a sell off. That's not too surprising right now because dude, it's like I post that Bitcoin chart and when you look at the approval for the Bitcoin ETF, it didn't happen overnight. It basically was like a month after the shit approved before Bitcoin really started to ascend, right?
Yeah, you
Um,
have to get all the sell the news retards
because
getting
I'm looking
euphoric.
at it, it's like it was, on Thursday, January 11th, is when it was approved. I think it bottomed out on the 23rd or 24th, and then it didn't reclaim highs again until like February 11th, which was 1 month later. And I could kind of see the same type thing happening here, right? Where it takes about a solid month before you really, start to get that movement again. And dude, I think that's perfectly fine, right? There's no issue with month long movement with any of this. And if you think about it too, Rooster, it lines up with right around the time that Blast Unlock is supposed to happen. Or not Blast, is it the Blast Unlock? Yeah, Blast Unlock, right? In late
Yeah,
June.
yeah.
So that would be kind of cool.
No,
Which
dude,
I
but
don't I don't have a
It
lot of blast. I know there are a lot of people that have been farming a shit ton of blast gold. Do you have much blast gold?
Fuck no, dude. Honestly, I fumbled blast a little bit. I'm just, I'm so exhausted with the points and all these airdrops that aren't even airdrops, and you have to remember to claim them, and then you don't remember to claim them because they don't even exist before you claim them. I've been so tired. I've been trying. I haven't really been participating in the the newest of the points eco farming.
Well, I won't lie. That's the one thing that I really love about fantasy. I don't have to do shit to participate. Like I really
Yeah.
don't. I don't even have to participate to participate. Like it's definitely skewed in favor of the heroes. Like I don't know. I mean, I think there probably is a plus EV strategy if you're not a hero. Like still, as long as you're doing the blast gold giveaways, etc. But at the same time, it's one of those things where you're probably going to burn ETH by buying cards, right? Like via the transaction fees, and then just eventually like the card valuation is going to go down. So you're kind of in a way, without realizing it, your participation is kind of like an ICO type method for the protocol, where you're doing the valuation of like, is the ETH I'm spending to participate and play these games going to be worth the upside of whatever potential token that I am buying from it, right? And
Probably
eventually,
not.
like maybe I would
We
argue
lost
that
some boys.
a lot of the people that burned a lot there, you know, probably did end up with some solid upside from their friend airdrop, right? So there can be, but it's not a guaranteed home run, and it's one of those things where it's a bit delayed. So I'm personally not really playing too much. I might play a game or two here soon because they're gonna, like they give heroes their own legendary, and I think that would be sick to just enter cheap lineups with that thing and just farm a little bit with it. But I mean, I've transparently said with that, it's like they're giving away for week 1 and 2, dude, like it's insane. I don't get this. Like the amount that people have spent on that week 1 and 2, 6.1 ETH is what I get. And I'm giving 100% back. And I've said this because transparently, I'm like, I will get paid in my own cards. I'm going to list my own cards, and it should be about break even from that 6.1 ETH. And then it's just a win-win type thing, with a little bit of upside of like a little bit more blast gold and fan points, which kind of like might tip the scale. But either way, like there's some of these people out there, I think, that just have tens of thousands of this shit that are like waiting for this thing to drop. And whenever it does, I mean, like it's just more of a stimulus back into the ecosystem. And I don't think all of it stays on blast. I think a good amount does, but some of it probably rotates back. Once the real farming for this type of stuff is done on the L2s, as much as you're like, oh yeah, it's all going to stay on that L2, a lot of the times when the farm's done, people are like, unwrap that shit, bring it back to the main chain, and
No, yeah, it's gonna be there's gonna be a new farm. It's unfortunately started a horrible meta, almost like the whitelist phase back in the end of 2021. But it's going to be the same exact. It's the same participants as Frentech, right? The chart is going to be painted the exact same. Everyone who's been bull posting this entire time is going to massively jeet. And I mean, I'd be happy to be proven wrong. I don't wish anybody to fail. I hope everyone succeeds. But I am not betting my money on it. I did the first week, entered the first tournament, hit a 3x on Fantasy Top, small size, and dipped.
oh, nice.
So
Yeah, I
it came
mean,
from somebody. I'm sorry, someone's gonna come out of there, minus 80%, 75%, and I'm sorry about that, but I have my 3x and I dipped.
like the only thing other than that I like to look on there is just from the competitive perspective of it's like I like if there's something that I have the opportunity to, be good at, I'm like, from the metric of just going out there and wanting to out hustle some of these people, outwork them, I'm like, okay, I want to be in the top 10 and not like, I don't want to just put shit out there. Right. But just the inspirational side. So that's been good. And
Hello?
at the same time too, it's like guaranteed engagement where you get more people, and these are a lot of like NFT bros that are on this thing, right? So I look at it from that perspective, where there are a lot
Rooster?
of like,
Kaleo?
But
can you hear
yeah,
us?
can you hear us?
Nah.
Probably have to jump off.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear. Yeah, okay. He just thought we were silent for all this time.
I guess
He's been up here
there's
forever.
been a silent space, so the fists up.
So okay, yeah, what I was saying though, man, it's like from the engagement perspective of getting the clout from that type of group, there's several of those people that never followed me prior to being a fantasy top, hero, and now they do. And I'm like, I really see that from the perspective of, okay, you get some of those people that are in there whenever things rotate back toward the NFT side of things. I mean, you kind of have that built-in clout and voice where some of these people are using you as their card. I mean, you talk about things like the stonks, right? Like it gets seen by more, it's just continuing
No,
to
yeah,
sow the seeds.
don't get me wrong, and I've said this previously. It's definitely major plus EV for you and other creators who have a voice in the space. Like it's it's not even like it's you're almost getting free boosted engagement, right? Just by having a card. People, they want their points, they get points from boosting you up, right? So no, definitely
And
plus
the thing,
EV.
I'm not even telling anybody to buy my card. I've been as transparent with this shit as I can be on everything that I've talked about with it. Like it's, you're probably honestly playing this type of a game. I don't know. It just depends on your strategy with it, but you're definitely probably going to lose ETH up front. It just is what it is. It's just a gamble of, do you think your points that you potentially accumulate, if you're competitive enough and you have the right strategy, do you think that those points will outweigh that ETH loss? Maybe,
Nope.
right? Because there's some competitive edge, there's a good chance it won't. So it's one of these things. These things are really top skewed, where the more you have, the higher likelihood that you're actually going to get that return back, and the little guys usually are the ones feeding the big guys.
You know what I am turbo bullish on over the next 7 days?
Let's hear it. And by the way, I just got a tap on the shoulder. I got about 5 minutes, and we got to get ready and head out to the boat.
Beaver mainnet is going live next week, and just been sitting waiting on this to happen, and it's officially going live next week. I couldn't
What
be
is that?
more turbo bullish. So the Seedon ecosystem from Alex Moody, uh, Chad Basho, pretty much these beavers are NFTs, but they're not actually NFTs. They represent a node, and it's like for me, it's a mining slash farming slash gaming play, which I'm turbo bullish on. I think they've officially, the Beavers mine like coins and shit in their ecosystem. I think there's going to be seven tokens to mine that have been officially announced, with more coming. So it's just new free liquidity every single day for years. So, personally, I'm always over allocated in everything. I'm always 100% allocated. Always got to find powder from somewhere else. So this hopefully will solve one of my issues that, if I'm getting new liquidity every single day for years, it should, hopefully encourage me to stay in some positions longer. But yeah, their whole ecosystem, Seedon is they're co-owners of Rainy Studios with Bags. Just total chat ecosystem, and the mainnet is finally going live next week, and I couldn't be more excited.
So, what's your strategy when it goes live?
Oh, I'm not shit, super competitive in the very beginning. I'm not juicing up anybody right now. I don't even know how I'm gonna execute my own strategy yet. But I can't. I gotta fill before shill.
10-4, man. I mean, hey, keep us posted on it because I guess by this time next week you should it should be live, right?
Yeah, I think they're going live on like
So
the 28th. So then,
you'll have to drop the alpha this time next week.
yeah, no.
Um,
Well, the alpha is buy beavers, and you can never have enough. And all you have to do is click a few buttons. So the way they do the nodes and everything, you don't actually need hardware or anything. They store all that in house. And then you just pay like a $5 a month per beaver to activate it, and that cost covers like all their hardware and everything that ends up running them. So really, you just click a few buttons and just let them cook, and they keep cooking, and you just pay your monthly fees and print. Hopefully, while you're validating, they have really good tokenomics too. Um, like I was saying, total chat ecosystem. So yeah, I just plan on clicking a few buttons and letting them cook for a long time. I'm expecting 100x from my entry, which was mint. They're up about a 2x for the beavers from mint right now, roughly. They're $500 a mint. I think they're like 850, so roughly up 70%. Um, but yeah, ideally, I'm expecting 100x from mint over the next 2 years within that time frame.
well, best of luck with it, man. You got to drop the alpha next Friday.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I gave you the alpha. Bid beavers, and you can never have enough. There's some chads out there with like 200, 300 beavers who are just gonna be eating, eating. There's like 150K investment during mint, right? Assuming they didn't buy any post market. So, Chad play, and I think they're gonna eat on them personally. Uh, yeah, turbo bullish about that.
I'll love to hear it, man. Yeah, I know you've been bullish on the Beavers for a while. I remember you minting them.
Yeah, I
So,
minted a one of one, which
um,
usually is a death cross for any NFT. If I mint a one of one, it goes to zero within a week. But we've been months past, and it's been up. So I think I've broken the curse finally.
all right, man. Well, best of luck with it. Appreciate you joining again. Sorry, all this has to be such a quick space, but I do have we're about to have a group of people waiting on me to get rolling out there down to the water. So love you guys. Wonky stonks are inevitable, and we'll see you guys here. I guess next week around the same time, same
Or
place.
sooner.
So or sooner. So we'll catch y'all later. Thanks again, Rooster.
All right, cheers, everyone.
Take it
Have a good
easy.
weekend.
Bye.